this relationship. So if you have your business name on there, and then you can put yours as the signing officer of your company. But identifying the parties are very important because you want to hold the other side accountable as to who and what should be done on their part to make that contract whole. The other part is you have to keep your agreements easy to read. Doesn't really matter how long or how short a contract is, as long as it's clear. You don't have to use a bunch of legal language. That's not important. What's important, again, is the meeting of the mind and that the terms are clear so both parties understand what is expected of each other. Lastly, you want to make sure that the contract is signed. Now, again, this seems simple, but I cannot tell you the number of times that I've seen people go into business and they tender a contract, and the person says, oh, I agree, I'm ready to do business, but they never sign the contract. So you're leaving yourself in a situation that could cause you a lot of problems because an unsigned contract is unenforceable under most laws, right? There's no proof that you agreed to the terms of that contract if you didn't sign off on it.
Right.
Okay? So those are the fundamental parts. The next question is, what should a signee to a contract do if the other side does not hold up their end? Well, the obvious thing that most people turn to is taking someone to court or suing them. Of course, that can be time-consuming and very costly. So what I've learned in the course of doing business is to make sure that up front that I mitigate my losses. And what does that mean?
Please define it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. This is very important. So I'm in a business where I do a lot of consultations with clients. And I take on various types of work for audit representation, setting up books for a company, filing tax forms for clients. And so what I've learned is to not work for free. So if you engaged me, there's going to be a retainer that needs to be paid up front. And the reason why I do that, because I've learned when I first got into this business at 21 years old, I'm 56 now.
What?
Yeah, I know, girl. I look good. I know. But one of the things I've learned is people will take advantage of your kindness.
Ooh, really?
Right?
How?
So you really need to make sure that you cover yourself by making sure that if you're going to do any work, you don't do the work first and then hope that they pay you.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to get something up front, some type of retainer, some type of deposit. Because now, if you do the work and they don't finish paying you, you've got at least something to show for the time and resources that you put in there. So before you even get to a point of whether or not the other side did their part, you need to mitigate your loss by making yourself so that you are not working for free, or you can cut whatever losses you may get as a result of someone else not doing their part. There's a very, very well-kept tool that most people don't know anything about. And this thing is really awesome. It's called the COJ. COJ stands for Certification of Judgment. So what happens with that is this. There is a court form that you can pre-fill out. And if you are going to be extending any type of major services to a client that requires them to pay over time, you may want to consider using this, because what that does, it says that if you, the other party to this contract, do not perform under the terms of this contract, then we're going to automatically get a judgment against you. So it's a form that you fill out that each party or the other party says that in case I don't come through on my end, I am responsible for paying this person or this company whatever the items are stated in this COJ. Now, I recently started using this. And the reason why I started using this again is I want to cover myself and mitigate my loss. So if you don't have confidence in yourself as a business person to know that you are going to come through on your end of the bargain here, and you don't want to sign that, then that tells me that there's something about you that may not be worthwhile of me doing business with you, because you don't have any confidence that you're going to complete your part of the bargain. Because if you did, you have no problem signing that, because you know for yourself it wouldn't come to a judgment, right? So these are just one or two tools that you may want to start thinking about and using, so that you don't have the time and expense of trying to sue somebody where you may or may not win. Okay? The other part that she wanted me to speak on, what is the core traits that define appropriate business acumen? Number one for me, and this is a big deal for me, is you have to be accountable. If you're going to be in business, you need to be accountable for what you say you're going to do. Okay? You have to be honest. You have to operate with integrity. You have to be trustworthy. And you have to have a very solid ethical and moral base. Those are the key things to being successful in any business. Because without any one of those elements, you're going to find it very difficult to grow your business, because no one's going to want to do business with you. It's just that simple. And then lastly, what is the difference between a trademark and a copyright? This has to be one of the most popular questions that I've gotten as a business consultant over the years. And this is a great question, because people get this mixed up all the time. So I'm going to make it very simple. A trademark gives you protection for the things that identify your brand. So your logos, your slogans, anything that identifies your company name, these are all trademarked. They're not copyrighted. Copyrights cover your intellectual property for books, videos, music, most things in written form. Now, what most people don't understand, that as soon as you create a written document, like Selwyn's book here, it was automatically copyrighted. But there is a caveat here. You cannot sue for copyright infringement unless you register your copyright.
With whom?
With the
Library of Congress?
With the U.S. U.S. Department Copyright Office.
Okay.
That's who you need to register your copyright with, and you have to register your trademark with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. That's the only way you can seek legal remedy if someone infringes upon either your trademark or your copyright. So if you are writing something or recording something, and you're worrying about someone using it and doing all these things without your permission, then you really need to make sure that you get that registered, because without it, you won't be able to sue anybody. Okay?
Okay. So we want to thank Mr. Selwyn Scott. Selwyn was just talking to us about self-care in business relationships. We are here at the Lemonade Chronicles CHOZAN, excuse me, part 5. And what was that? The men are giving me a hard time. You know, this is the first all-male Cara Jones Unlimited panel. Sorry?
All the names sound alike.
The men are acting up, so I need the ladies in the audience to help a sister out, if you will. But CHOZAN Ben, the businessman consultant, was just talking to us about self-care and business relationships. We're going to move forward and take a brief pause as we go forward in our program. We're here at the Atwater Playhouse in the Atwater Village. region of Los Angeles, California. Grateful to be in Southern California for episode 5 of the Lemonade Chronicles. Stay tuned, please. Or anything like that? Did anybody learn anything from what he said? Anybody?
I knew about the.
No, it's fine. You're good.
I knew about the copyright because.
Oh, you're still on. Why don't you come over here for a minute? Well, just talk. Talk loud. Talk loud. Because I got people that are watching. They're listening. So what are you saying, ma'am? I'm sorry.
I knew about the copyright because I did music back in the day, wrote lyrics and so on and so forth. So you always had to send that off. Did not know about the trademark.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a common mistake. A common confusion.
Yes, totally.
Confusion. Yeah. Anybody else learn something?
Well, I first learned about it when The Matrix came out.
Ah.
The young lady who physically wrote The Matrix,
That's correct.
she did not register it, and the two brothers actually went and produced several forms of The Matrix, and she wasn't able to.
With Keanu
physically see them.
Reeves?
Yes.
That one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what inspired the lady was the Bible.
Now, you're right about that.
Yeah, that's right. I remember reading that story.
Okay. So we are moving forward with the Lemonade Chronicles. Can I see that form you have right there, sir? That would really help me out. I'm about to be 52.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
You got it.
So I'm going to ask our featured music artist. You guys met her when I announced her on the Cara Jones page and the Cara Jones Unlimited page. Bird Duckett. I'm going to ask her if she will come and grace the Cara Jones Unlimited Performing Arts stage. She is here with her band, group, background singers, musician, and we are just so blessed to have her in our presence. Hey, Keith Mouse, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. War Eagle, brother, War Eagle. So we're going to let Bird do her thing. Stay tuned.